Speaking of India, the country's practices are sometimes really unpredictable, especially their attitude towards foreign investment, which is always unpredictable. At the beginning, various preferential policies were overwhelming, successfully attracting many foreign companies that were still waiting. As a result, in 2023, BYD submitted an investment plan of up to $1 billion to the Indian government, intending to cooperate with local Indian giants to establish a joint venture to produce new energy vehicles. Who would have thought that the Indian government actually rejected this huge investment? What is even more surprising is that India now hopes that BYD can return to their market. But this time, BYD has made it clear that it will give up India and instead plan to build a factory in Karachi, Pakistan. So why did BYD choose to give up India and invest in Pakistan instead? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now let's get into today's topic. As India's population exceeds 1.4 billion, its market size and consumption potential are also expanding. In order to attract foreign investment, India has taken a series of policy measures over the years. One of the most important is to open up foreign direct investment, allowing foreign companies to set up subsidiaries, joint ventures, or wholly owned subsidiaries in India. In addition, India has also introduced many tax incentives to attract more foreign investment. For example, in special economic zones and industrial parks, India provides foreign companies with tax exemptions, tariff concessions, and simplified administrative procedures. These policies have indeed attracted many well-known multinational companies to enter the Indian market. Globally renowned automakers such as Volkswagen, Ford, Honda, and Nissan have set up production bases in India. As one of the largest auto brands in China, BYD naturally hopes to expand its business in India. BYD is one of the leading new energy vehicle manufacturers in China and even the world. As early as 2022, BYD has surpassed Tesla to become the world's largest electric vehicle company. By 2023, BYD's global sales have reached an astonishing 3.02 million vehicles, continuing to be the global champion of new energy vehicle sales. In order to further expand its market share, BYD has been actively preparing to set up a factory in India for many years, hoping to enter this market with huge potential. In fact, BYD had already established a branch in India as early as 2007 and invested $150 million in Chennai, an important port city in southern India, to build an automobile factory. Subsequently, in 2013, BYD further increased its layout in India and established a joint venture with local companies to focus on the production of electric vehicles such as electric buses. The Indian government at that time welcomed BYD's investment and factory construction. They hope to promote the development of the country's new energy vehicle industry chain through BYD's advanced technology and rich experience. However, despite this, although India's new energy vehicle sales in 2023 set a new record of 81,000 units, a year-on-year increase of 114%, new energy vehicles still accounted for only 2% of the total vehicle sales that year, and the market penetration rate was still low. After many trials and practices, BYD gradually realized that India's new energy vehicle market still has huge room for development, which provides an important opportunity for BYD's overseas expansion. Of course, some relevant experts predict that by 2030, the penetration rate of electric passenger vehicles in India may reach 25% to 30%. So BYD has also set an ambitious goal to strive to occupy 40% of the Indian electric vehicle market by 2030. However, BYD's current factory scale in India is still limited, mainly relying on a small assembly line, which is obviously not in line with BYD's grand plan. In order to speed up the layout and expand its influence, BYD proposed a bold plan last year to invest $1 billion to build a super factory in India. However, this investment plan was rejected by India. So why did India reject such a seemingly win-win cooperation opportunity? As far as I know, in July 2023, China's BYD announced that it would cooperate with India's infrastructure giant Mega to jointly promote the development of the electric vehicle industry in India. Previously, they had submitted an application to the Indian Department of Industry and Internal Trade Promotion to jointly build a $1 billion factory in Hyderabad for the long-term production of electric vehicles and batteries. In their investment proposal, the two companies promised to increase the annual production of the factory to 100,000 vehicles in the next few years. This plan shows that BYD intends to gradually establish a supply chain and may first adopt the model of shipping auto parts to India for assembly. In addition, BYD's investment plan also includes the construction of infrastructure such as charging stations, R&D centers, and training centers in India, which is undoubtedly a comprehensive layout. For India, this is a rare opportunity to leverage the leapfrog development of the new energy vehicle industry. However, after BYD's application was submitted, the Indian Department of Industry and Internal Trade Promotion immediately consulted other relevant departments on the plan. Unexpectedly, during this review process, some Indian officials raised concerns about the security of Chinese investment in India. Especially since the Sino-Indian border conflict in 2020, this uneasiness has gradually intensified in India, which eventually led to the rejection of this investment plan. In fact, as early as April 2020, the Indian government had revised its foreign direct investment policy, requiring investments from countries bordering India by land to obtain government approval. Although the policy does not explicitly name it, it is obviously intended to prevent Chinese companies from acquiring Indian assets in the capital flow after the epidemic. Therefore, BYD's plan to build a factory in India is naturally difficult to proceed smoothly. It is worth noting that after India rejected BYD's investment application in 2024, the Indian government hoped that BYD would reconsider its plan to build a factory in India and even expressed its willingness to provide a US dollar subsidy policy. However, BYD did not show a positive attitude towards this, but rejected the proposal on the grounds that Sino-Indian relations were deteriorating. In fact, after India rejected BYD's investment, BYD has quickly turned its attention to neighboring Pakistan. In August of this year, BYD officially announced that it would abandon its plan in India and decided to invest $1 billion to build an automobile factory in Pakistan, which is expected to be completed in the first half of 2026. The site of the factory is Karachi in Pakistan. From a geographical point of view, Karachi is adjacent to the Arabian Sea to the south, and about 460 kilometers to the west is the strategic Gwadar Port. Gwadar Port is about 600 kilometers away from the Strait of Hormuz, which is located at the throat of the Persian Gulf entering the Arabian Sea. It has great potential to become a trade transit station between East Asia and the Middle East. In addition, the southwest of Karachi can directly lead to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, enter the Red Sea route, and finally deliver goods directly to Europe. This unique geographical advantage makes Karachi not only an important transportation hub connecting the three continents of Asia, Europe, and Africa, but also a center for international aviation and shipping. Because Karachi has such a unique geographical location, it will provide strong support for the production and export of Chinese cars in Karachi, especially when expanding to the Middle East or European markets. It will play a vital role. But in comparison, the Indian market is still much more optimistic than Pakistan. But why did BYD give up the Indian market so resolutely? We know that Pakistan's industrial base is not as strong as India's, but it is close to China and is also an important node of the Belt and Road Initiative. In addition, Pakistan has a considerable population base, with 240 million people, accounting for 2.92% of the world's total population. According to the latest statistics, Pakistan is currently the fifth most populous country in the world, and its population is growing quite fast. Since 2017, the country's population has increased by 33 million, with an average annual growth of about 5 million people. In contrast, Pakistan's market is not inferior to many countries. Moreover, China's relationship with Pakistan is more stable, and it is naturally more stable in long-term investment cooperation. What is more exciting is that after BYD's investment plan was announced, Chinese automakers such as Great Wall Motors, Changan Automobile, and SAIC Group also expressed their intention to enter the Pakistani market. Although the Indian market is larger than Pakistan, the country has always been controversial in the international community. I think this is the reason why BYD gave up India. As early as many years ago, India launched the Make in India campaign to enhance India's image as a global manufacturing center and encourage the introduction of multinational companies' technology to invest and produce in India. This move has attracted the attention of some European and American companies, who hope to reduce their dependence on China's manufacturing industry by shifting their focus to India. Therefore, many big-name companies have set their sights on India. Electronic consumer product giants such as Apple, Samsung, and Sony are also expanding their businesses in India to meet growing consumer demand. In addition, technology giants such as Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are also increasing their investments in India to promote the development of digitalization and the internet economy. However, after entering the Indian market, these companies found that India's backward infrastructure has become a key factor restricting the development of the manufacturing industry. Insufficient power supply, inefficient transportation, and high logistics costs have seriously affected the production efficiency and competitiveness of the manufacturing industry. Although the Indian government has increased its investment in infrastructure construction in recent years, due to funding shortages and inefficient execution, India's infrastructure conditions still cannot meet the needs of manufacturing development. What is more worrying is that India's labor quality has also become a major obstacle to its dream of becoming a world factory. Although India has a huge labor force, its overall skill level is low, and it lacks skilled technical workers, making it difficult to support the development of high-end manufacturing. Previously, Foxconn's factories in India had faced problems such as difficulty in recruiting workers and labor shortages. A large number of Indian workers lacked the necessary skills and professional attitudes, resulting in low production efficiency and difficulty in ensuring product quality. Obviously, India still has a long way to go to become a world factory. Instead of blindly pursuing scale expansion, it is better to start from improving the business environment, improving infrastructure levels, and improving the quality of the labor force, and gradually solve the bottleneck problems that restrict the development of the manufacturing industry. So, do you think it is right for China to abandon India and choose Pakistan for investment?